It's okay when you slip. Doesn't mean I'm a bad person. Doesn't mean I did anything wrong. I am a sex addict. I am someone that is something that's part of my life no matter what. I'm never going to change it. It will always be there. It'll always be in the back of my head. When I've ever been with a person, I'm the most loyal person in the world because I give my heart and soul to that person, and that's fine. But the one thing I have to realize is, and again, when we're doing things with other people, we have to sit back and realize, how does it affect them? Many of us who are sex addicts don't look at that. I've always looked at that. I've always looked at how it affects the other person. And so I'm always honest. So I figure if I tell you this is all it is, no matter what, then we're fine. It's up to you. If you decide to get attached to me, that's your problem. That's not the way to do it. Because other people, one thing I've learned about those of us who are sex addicts and those people who get involved with sex addicts, if you love sex just as much, because again, this isn't about sex. This is about gratification. This is about numbing ourselves. This is about feeling something that takes us away from whatever we're going through, the depression, anxiety, loneliness, anger, codependency, self-hate, low self-esteem, whatever the hell you want to throw out there. That a lot of times the people that I would be with, and I don't mean meeting them on sites, that's a whole different world, because we had so much sex and because we took things to the limit, in their mind, they thought it was about love, because a lot of people equate sex with love. How many people say, I'm never going to have sex until I'm married? Well, there are a lot of people married. They don't love each other, but they're married. Think about that. So it's really is looking at, and the one thing I've been able to do is step back and look at how my negative actions that I choose to do affect somebody else from now on. Whether it's my work that in the last couple of months, some things have been missing. How did I affect the people? When other people came to me and said, hey, here's a mistake, how are we going to fix it? They were understanding about what I was going through, but the great thing is I'm helping them. I work with them. Here's what I had to do to right those wrongs. Being a sex addict is not healthy. When you're born, you're not stuck with a needle in your arm and a beer in your mouth. The first thing you get some breast milk, and it's nurturing. Sex is nurturing. To me, it's one of the greatest pleasures in the world. It's not just about the acts of intercourse or oral sex or any of that. There's sexual things you can do without even taking your clothes off. There's sensuous things you can do. You can feel things. But the one thing that happens to those of us who are sex addicts, we're numb mentally. We're numb emotionally. We lose that effect. We lose that ability to connect mentally. And that's one thing I realized. I was losing the ability to concern myself with anybody that was in my life. So I stepped back and I thought, okay, here's what I need to do. Jump back on the horse, do what I need to do. But here's the best thing too, and I always tell addicts, no matter what your drug of choice is, or if it's sex, gambling, whatever it is, you don't always have to tell the whole fucking world you have a problem. You don't need validation from other people. Again, saying, you know what, I relapsed, and people are like, it's okay. No, it really isn't okay. It's going to happen, but it really isn't okay. Many times people relapse in sex addiction or other addictions because they know people are going to give them some slack. People are going to say, oh, you're just an addict. When I was in the depths of my addiction when I was younger and stuff, that's all I had. That was my identity. When I got better, I didn't have that identity. People didn't pay attention to me. I wasn't that person anymore. So how do I become that person? How do I get people to pay attention? Well, all the negatives in the world, like Jeffrey Dahmer, is only known for one thing. You'd like to be known for more than one thing, I would think. Something maybe positive. But we lose that when we think that that's our identity. We think it's cool. Or other people think it's cool that you have an addict. Or, that guy could drink all he wants. That girl can drink all she wants. She holds her liquor. He holds her. Really, that's fun? Years ago, I had to interview a young lady. And she said she had the greatest 21st birthday party of her life. She was raped on her 21st birthday party because somebody put something in her drugs. But when we interviewed her, she said it was one of the best nights of her life. And it was so sad and heartening that she actually thought that night was great. Maybe before was great, but this is one of the most traumatic things that ever happened to this young lady. So we all take a look and we look at things that go that way. We all look at things, but when you're dealing with an addiction and you know it's getting out of hand, step back.